Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Before I get into the video, I want to thank you guys so much for the great amount of support. This channel obviously would not be possible without you guys, but thank you so much for supporting my latest video, the most aesthetically pleasing players to watch in the NBA. Obviously, that was an opinion-based video, but I also said, let me know down below in the comment section who you think is the most aesthetically pleasing player to watch in the NBA, because a player that I may find aesthetically pleasing, you may not find aesthetically pleasing. That's what's so awesome about sports, any sport, basketball, football. We all have our different opinions, and I think it's just stupid people that argue over opinions, unless it's a really stupid opinion, because there are some stupid opinions out there that are just not facts at all. So shout out to you guys that smashed the like button, viewed the video. If you're new to the channel, you click the subscribe button. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And if you are addicted to basketball, I do really believe this channel is for you. Click the subscribe button, light up the post notification bell so you do not miss any future content. Sorry about the rambling there, as I'm going to be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans, and I don't know what to feel about the New Orleans Pelicans. I love their roster construction, but it comes down to the overall health. And is that upside player going to play this upcoming season? Is he finally going to play? Obviously, I'm talking about Zion Williamson, because I was so pumped about Willie Green, Zion Williamson. Obviously, Willie Green, the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm a McCollum guy. I'm a Brandon Ingram guy. Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy, etc. I'm going to be getting into the roster construction around this time. Last year, I made a video talking about how the Pelicans have one of the most bright futures in the NBA. And I feel their roster construction got even better, adding a Jordan Hawkins, one of the best shooters out of the 2023 NBA draft, out of UConn. Huge fan of Jordan Hawkins. I think he's going to be a very solid player. They have very solid roster construction. They have guys that can get buckets. You have Trey Murphy, who's a 14-point per game scorer. Brandon Ingram, 24.7 points per game. CJ McCollum, who's also a damn near 25-point per game scorer. I know he kind of did fall off when it came to efficiency at the end of the season because he was suffering. I believe he had a hand injury at the end of the season. So you have bucket getters. You have Herb Jones that can defend. You have Dyson Daniels upside. Maybe he has a bigger role. He's a good defender, a very good passer. It comes down to his skill set of shooting the three ball. How good does he get as a shooter? But he has length. He's a tall guy. Jonas Valanciunas isn't a crazy good defender, but he's also a pretty damn good offensive center. You have very solid roster construction, Trey Murphy, etc. And it's like, only if they had an upside piece, only if they had that guy that, oh, it looks like he could be a superstar. Wait, they do. It's Zion Williamson, but he barely plays. He's made an all-star game twice in his career. I don't know about this latest year. I don't know if he deserved that, playing less than 30 games and making an all-star game. He averaged 26 points per game, but come on. Your best ability is availability. He did go on to make the All-Star team his second year in the league. Did play 61 games. I'll give Zion Williamson credit there. Yes, the Pelicans only won 31 games that season, but the roster construction wasn't great. I do like Steven Adams. Obviously, not a member of the Pelicans anymore, but this is when he was. You have JJ Redick, who's getting older. Brandon Ingram still trying to figure out his role. Lonzo's health. There was a lot of things that had to break right with that team, so I'm okay with Zion being named an all-star. When healthy, he's literally a 25-point per game guy. He's one of the most efficient finishers in the league. You know, when you get caught on Zion's hip, it's over. When he's able to put his back to the basket and put you in that position for Zion to front you in the post, when he puts himself in that position to front you in the post, it's GG, it's over. Because he's so physically strong. He's just so physically gifted. But that was one of the concerns. No one should be that big and move that well and be that athletic. Be this lob threat. Run the floor like a beast. Finish so well. Be that good of a distributor of the basketball. I do think he's an underrated passer. Obviously, does he improve as a defender? He's a good rebounder. I guess communication skills, he has work to do. His three-point shot, does that ever get there? A mid-range shot, but because he's so dominant in the inside, it's like he doesn't need that three-point shot. He obviously showed what he could be in the summer league, just absolutely dominant, ripped the ball out of Kevin Knox's hands. The game was so crazy that there was an earthquake. But he has this meniscus injury, misses a chunk of games his rookie year. He comes back, plays well, especially that Spurs game. He was knocking down some threes on a small sample size. We saw how much of a beast he was around the basket, you know, that lethal second jump when it comes to the offensive boards. He just brought that electricity. You just knew Zion was out there. When he was selected with the number 1 overall pick back in the 2019 NBA draft. As a Knicks fan, I was begging to get Zion, but Zion was the next generational talent. It's like pretty much Zion's a disappointment, or the team that drafted Zion's a disappointment if they're not competing for a championship in 4 years. Those were the aspirations when you get a Zion Williamson. So he comes back, he plays well, but then the virus hits, and he plays a little bit in the bubble, but he was on minute restriction before. He didn't play in the bubble because he had something was going on with his family. I don't know the details, I'm not going to lie, but that's what the reports were. So it's like rookie year, he showed what he could do, but it comes down to the health. So his second year in the league, he makes an all-star team in the 2020 to 21 season, plays 61 games. I think that's a good amount of chunk of games. 27 points per game this dude averaged on 61% shooting from the field. Didn't take a three because he didn't have to. He was getting to the free throw line, averaged 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 3 turnovers. He did have the ball in his hands a good amount of times. You just saw that he could be this very good playmaker. You saw how dominant he was. They didn't win a lot of games, but I didn't think the roster construction was that good. So I'm like, all right, Zion's getting healthy. We see Zion. He has the right mindset, but then he misses the entire up-and-coming season, did not play because of a foot injury. But what's so disappointing is that we saw, like, his rookie year, I wasn't a big fan of Alvin Gentry, not an Alvin Gentry guy. But when they hired Willie Green, it's like, damn, this team is competitive. You also take a look at their GM, Trajan Langdon. He drafted very well. I liked what he did as well. In the season that he didn't play with the foot injury, some people thought he was going to come back for the playoffs because, yes, they made it to the playoffs without Zion. They were awesome in the play-in. They're this 8 seed that didn't win 40 games, and they sneak into the playoffs because of the play-in. But yeah, Zion doesn't play that entire season. Some people thought he was going to play in the first round versus Phoenix, but no, because of an hip injury. And they take the Phoenix Suns to 6 games. I'm like, I wonder what that series would have looked like if Zion played in it, if he was healthy. And there's obviously concerns about Zion's weight. Is he going to, like, how much does he really love the game? Because a lot of people were saying, oh, if he went to the Knicks, he'd be in better shape because he would care. But I feel we're kind of seeing Zion's true colors. I don't care. Like, if you truly love the game of basketball and you love to compete, you'll do anything to keep yourself in shape and play the game. If you truly love the game like that. That's just my opinion. So you'll see Zion, looks like he's in shape. Oh, he's not in shape. You'll get hyped every offseason that it's like, oh, this year he's going to stay healthy. But that's kind of when the Jose Alvarado story was born. We all knew he was a sneaky defender coming out of Georgia Tech and all these mic'd up clips. But when he was picking up Chris Paul, like pickpocketing Chris Paul when he's dribbling the ball up the floor, it was just awesome. And you want to see the progression from a Trey Murphy, from a Herb Jones, and we saw that. And I just feel bad for Willie Green. I feel bad for Langdon, the GM of the Pelicans, because he constructed this team. He put together a very well-built roster with defensive versatility, good athletes, good teammates, guys that can shoot the 3-ball. You have lethal scorers of the basketball, but your high upside guys not playing. Zion's failed the Pelicans. It's not the other way around. Like, some people thought, oh, the Pelicans are going to ruin him. No, in my opinion, Zion's failed the Pelicans. I'm not going to go, like, the specifics of his injuries. I'm not going to pretend I know his genetics or anything like that, but he hasn't stayed on the floor, and it's been extremely disappointing. Had the whole thing with Mariah Mills, which is just a complete mess that is, all that drama. But he doesn't play that season. So we're excited about this upcoming season. He has the hamstring injury. Like, he's popping up on injury reports when it comes to a hamstring injury. I believe a foot injury once, but conditioning is literally on there. That's how you know he's not in shape. Like, conditioning is literally there when it comes to Zion being out for games. And we saw the Pelicans. He made the All-Star team. He was that good when he was playing. He averaged 26 points per game on 60% shooting. That's impressive that he did not play a season before that. Comes in 29 games, just lights the world on fire, just the electricity, the presence when he's out there. Pelicans are this top 5 seed. They look awesome. But then he's out of shape. He's hurt again. And you had to give him this contract as well the off season before, because you took him with the number 1 overall pick when he has played. He's averaging 26 points per game. So they're pretty much saying, we believe in you to stay healthy, play games. This upcoming season, 2023-24 season, he's going to be making $34 million. There might be some things taken out if he doesn't play games, obviously, because they're obviously expecting him to play games. Season after that, $36 million. He's going to be making $39 million in 2025-26 season. The 2026-27 season, $42 million. And then $44 million 2027-28. Unrestricted free agency in 2028. So he's made a couple all-star teams, but they've been a disappointment based off of Zion not consistently being available. And it's like, would it have been... Do you think it would have went to 7? Do you think they would have made it the second round of the playoffs? Do you think they would have beat the Suns if Zion like actually was healthy that season? Obviously he didn't play at all that season, but if he came into the playoffs, because they have a very well built team. Very well built team. You have McCollum, you have Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy took a leap. Lethal shooter, like a very good athlete, excellent cutter without the basketball. Love the offense they run. Good defensive player that could jump passing lanes, has tons of length. Jonas Valanciunas, veteran in this league, that could defend a little bit, not a high-end defender, but solid offensive player. Dyson Daniels, maybe bigger role. He has tons of natural talent. You end up taking Jordan Hawkins out of the draft, good shooter. So you're building this solid team around Zion, but Zion's not available. So is it time to like just say, yeah, I don't really care about the Pelicans. Like, you can't trust them anymore. The Pelicans, are they a waste of time? Are they just a waste of time trying to predict them? Will Zion get in shape finally? Will he finally be motivated? If you truly love the game, I'm not trying to be rude or anything here, but he would be in shape. He would push his ass beyond the limit, stay healthy, get the right trainers, etc. if he really, really cared. Is it possible that he ends up getting traded in a couple of years? Because I feel bad for Ingram. I feel bad for McCollum. McCollum's getting up there in age, kind of. He's going to be 33 years old. He had the injury at the end of the season when his efficiency kind of fell off. But I think Brandon Ingram's a damn good player. Just their overall roster, their projected starters, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, Zion, Jonas Valanciunas. They have Larry Nance off the bench. Najee Marshall, solid. Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado. Presence defensively. Let me know down below your thoughts on these Pelicans. Will they make it to the playoffs without Zion? Will they make it to the play-in? They made it to the play-in this past season with Zion barely playing. Zion only playing the first 29 games, not playing a lot of games. They ended up making it to the play-in and still being competitive. You got to give credit to Willie Green. I honestly feel bad for him. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.